like I said, that was a big investment of my time because it took me, I had to study something that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with. Obviously writing violin, I don't play violin. I played cello for a little bit in high school, but it wasn't really something that I was ever super confident as a performer for. So to write for somebody who was dedicating their life to playing violin was very intimidating. And I know anybody who's worked with a live performer before who studies at that caliber, it's something that, like I said, in anything that you do in this career or anyone, you need to have confidence, and that's sort of how I approached it, and that's how I dealt with it. The last thing I'm going to play for you is a project I'm working on now, and it's an iPhone game that I'm working with Witching Hour Studios, which is a startup in Singapore, and they actually just gave me permission to play this today, and I'm under those fancy contracts that you should hang around and listen to the other guys talk about. So I'm just going to play this real quick. It's about a minute long, and then I'll take any questions that you guys might have. And I have CDs up here. I'll take a minute to talk about Songs for the Cure. This is a CD that a project I run. It's a compilation. There's 2 discs in here. And all the money that we make from this goes to the American Cancer Society. We don't take any money for this. I paid for the production of the CDs out of pocket. It's something that's really important to me. We raised over about $7,500 last year for the American Cancer Society with these. We're still selling them. David Saulesco is on the CD. Jimmy Henson is on the CD that I have here. And then we're doing another one for 2011, which should be out around mid-March. And that's got this guy here on it, Daniel Baranowsky. It's going to have Jimmy Henson again. And it's got a slew of other people. Joshua Morris, if you're familiar with him. A-Rival's supposed to be on it. David Saulesco will be on it again. Ryan, my friend, is an excellent tenor. He's a very good singer. He'll be on it. And it's a complete spectrum of different sounds and styles. So I definitely would really appreciate it if you guys would take a minute. They're only $2, but you can donate however much you want. That's sort of the feeling I have towards it. If you can make any money off of it at all for the Cancer Society, that's what I'm going for. So anything you can contribute is awesome. And then I also have my GunGirl 2 CDs, which are $5, and you can grab one of those if you'd like. So here's this last song, and I'll take questions. Before I finish up, actually, I wanted to know if Danny had anything he wanted to say or sell, maybe. Give him a minute. I just got sawed.
Oh God, there's blood all over! Oh my God! $10.
$10 for this Super Meat Boy CD right there. I think I now owe Danny $10 because he threw CDs at me.
And it goes to no cause but this guy.
Yeah, that guy. This guy's a good cause, though. I gotta agree with that. So, Danny, do you have anything specific you want to add before we just take general questions?
He's right. Everything he said was right.
How did I do, Daddy? Did I do good on the test?
So good.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not the most organized kind of person, so the idea of putting together some kind of power box or whatever it is, power Facebook or...
Power Facebook. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think we kind of do things kind of differently. I am not organized. I'm not kidding. I'm just like the most like... nothing makes...
Hear that? He's successful because God wants him to be.
Allah.
Allah. Oh.
Buddha.
Shoelaces.
The Super Friends.
The Justice League.
I like, it sounds really super cheesy and stuff, and it's like, because like way back in the day when I was trying to get into this, and I just like knew people who were doing it and stuff, and it's like, how'd you do it? What do you do? All this kind of stuff, and it always seemed like they kind of like avoided the question or something, and like, I guess wherever I am now, whatever this is, like, I don't really know how I got here. Like, you just don't stop. Like, it's the cheesiest advice ever, but just don't stop. You know, like, keep talking to people. Like, I got gravity hooked just from talking to Adam Atomic through AOL Instant Messenger. Like it's so like informal and just ad hoc and just sabotaging me. I like that you're using like a studio mic.
It's not my mic. They take care of me.
All right, am I in stereo?
That's one day I need 2 mics.
Anyway, so yeah, just like there's all those resources and everything. Like I started at Overclock Remix and just did remixes because I wanted to, and I guess I got like whatever, a little bit of, you know, notoriety for doing remixes just like everybody else, and just you know, there's always luck involved, and Adam liked what I had done, and there was this project we were going to do with me and Jared Hudson, and it never even happened. Like nothing ever came out of it, but I got to meet Adam Atomic, and because Adam Atomic one day sent me, because like he was just this guy who was doing game development. I'm just some kid working at GoDaddy. He was not, you know, and he would send me prototypes and stuff he was working on from time to time, and I would, you know, send him stuff, and none of it was really very good or whatever, and then he showed me Gravity Hook one day, and he was just like, I was like, yeah, it looks cool, but it sounds like it needs music. And he's like, no, I think it works better silent. And I literally told him, fuck you, I'm writing music anyway. And like 40 minutes later, I sent him track A, and he's like, okay, write me a soundtrack. Like, that's how professional I am. Like, I don't really plan anything out. I just swear at people, and I mean, somehow, I'm like, I'm the Mr. Magoo of the indie game industry. And does nobody know who Mr. Magoo is? Really?
Mr. Magoo is sexy.
Thank you. I thought it was a wonderful reference. Anyway. But, you know, it's I think what a lot of people just like overthink it too much, when like what you really, like the most valuable thing I heard you say is just like write every day. I don't write every day. I mean, sorry to take the wind out of your sails, buddy, but I don't. I write a lot. Especially now that I have like contracted gigs all the time. But like if you have, oh yeah, now I'm like legally required to do stuff. But just as long as you're always getting better, always improving yourself somehow. And I don't know, this is sounding way more like philosophical and weird than I intended it to be. But
what music
keep
is.
reaching for that rainbow.
What do you follow though? Absolutely.
Way up high. Okay.
So, I guess I don't want to take too much time. Stupid mic. I don't want to take too much time because there's an awesome panel of my friends and colleagues who are going to be following me. But I will take a few questions really fast. Yes.
What's the current flavor of the industry in terms of, say, useful? What I mean is, certain people are looking for catchy tunes. Others are looking for ambiance.
That definitely depends on the developer, and it depends on who you talk to. There are people who are really frustrated with the fact that a lot of game soundtracks are starting to sound like, you know, AAA budget film scores, but there are a lot of people who like it. In the indie department, I think that, it's a tough question to answer because it really depends, but I'd say it's leaning towards retro almost, but it really depends. It definitely depends on the style.
Some developers just want you to stay out of the way, and some want you to be like a starring player. You know, like some. I mean, I'm lucky that most of the guys I work with like really dig like old school infused kind of. They call it like people call it like 12-bit whatever. It's got those old like chiptune elements, but it's got like the newer stuff, and like that's real melodic and just super fun to write, fun to listen to. But then other people are just like, hey, this is a game about shooting aliens because we're very creative and we just want you to get on Atmosphere and push a key for 2 minutes and that's your track. So
if you look at the nominees right now for the Excellence in Audio at the Independent Games Festival, I'll tell you right now, one of the top runners is very ambient. It's all about atmosphere. There's not a lot of melody. The other one is by Vert, Jay Kaufman, and some of his friends, and it's this awesome kick-ass chiptune ear rape invasion. So, like, yeah, exactly. It really depends. It depends on who you talk to, the game's content, and all that other stuff. There's so many factors. Yes.
Do you feel that certain independent makers versus major developers have different demands that affect your approach to a certain soundtrack?
Oh, you definitely. Like he's saying, a lot of times you get lucky with somebody who lets you kind of, like he said, he was just able to lean back and say, no, this is the music. And yeah, you're going to get a soundtrack. If you're going to get approached and you're going to be working on a commercial title, generally they kind of have the ropes, you know, and they're pulling all the strings. So
when you, I don't think I've done any actual AAA work or anything, but like, it's when you get into situations where you're working for like a big corporation, there's just like tons of people, it's like you are fitting into their box. Like you are just like, I sound like such a hippie, you're a cog in their machine, bro. But like, that's literally like kind of how it is, because like when it's indie, like Super Meat Boy was 4 people. 2 people made it, I did the music, and Jordan did the sound effects, and like, that was it. There was never, I mean, none of the music had to go to an advisory board and get voted on and all that red tape and stuff, so.
I saw a question over here. There was, yeah.
Yeah, I had a question about business models. Are you guys incorporated? How do you handle intellectual property?
I have no idea.
We're super indie. No business required.
I give my receipts to my mom.
Yeah, I mean,
if you were to have a business model one day, what would it look like?
I honestly would probably just be incorporated. The only thing that really matters if you're worried about that thing is just watch your ass with taxes and stuff like that. I mean, you have to keep your paperwork and stuff, but the business model's up to you. Once you get big enough that you can get like an agent, or you know, you need to really market yourself. That's a better question for the people who are going to follow. I would definitely say. I would definitely ask them.
The grown-ups.
The grown-ups, yes.
What was the time frame between the first and the last track you played?
That I played, I did Bonesaw probably like late 2007, and the last one I played I wrote about a week ago.
Okay.
So maybe like 2.5 years-ish. Yeah.
So you actually manage to get royalties. I mean, do you like register with that stuff?
I mean, I'm registered with BMI, but I think part of the reason that I'm personally doing that is because I write music in school, and it's a real big thing with like classical music to do that.
Have you ever seen anything from BMI?
No, never seen anything.
Me neither.
I have
BMI
seen stuff.
Like 3 years.
I have seen a check from Sound Exchange, which handles like the recording rights, and that's a whole other monster. And that has to do with me getting basically it's royalties from Pandora. So.
And like, since you know indie games in particular are so new. You know, the App Store is, what, like 3 years old? Just none of that, it seems like none of that architecture is in place like where film and TV are, where like, you know, it just is what it is. If you're in TV and you do music, like, you know, you get your royalties based on per affiliate, syndication, all that kind of stuff. But with indie stuff, like, they don't, I mean, because it's not being broadcast, so like when royalties, like I get royalties on like percentages of iPhone games that get sold, but that's not, BMI has nothing to do with that.
You ever do a ringtone out of your stuff?
Yeah, I just make them and give them out for free.
Yeah, I can just do it for free. I've done it before. I've had people email me and ask for ringtones. Yeah, well.
Can I ask a question about your scheduling? Like, how long do you typically get to write your story?
I have a project that they approached me, and I was lucky enough that they approached me as soon as they started writing the game, so I have until March to do about an hour of music. So I feel comfortable and relaxed because I've done the speed writing thing before. I did a lot of 1-hour combos when I was younger and getting set up. So I kind of want to hold the rest of the questions until after the next people go, because we're going to still be in here and with them. So if you have any questions for us, you can either ask us at the end of this following panel, or you can just approach me whenever. Like I said, I'm a really approachable dude, and I feel like I'm going to be approached by Danny later.
Watch yourself, all right?
Check yourself. So we're getting out of the way, and I'm just going to move these over there, probably to the back of the... thank you guys for hanging out.
By the way.
Oh, nice to meet you, sir.